Welcome to Tochii Studio, where we inspire, educate, and empower. This is Learn with Tochii, a space for bold ideas, practical skills, and purpose driven growth. If you're ready to lead with clarity and confidence, you're in the right place. Let's dive in.
In today's digital world, when we talk about APIs, they've evolved from where they used to be like technical interfaces, to becoming strategic business assets. API as a product means you're treating APIs as standalone products with its own development lifecycle, its own marketing, its own user engagement lifecycle, and doing it to create value for the business and the users of the APIs. The approach goes beyond just exposing services to third parties. It involves aligning APIs with your business goals. So let me give you an example. If my business goals were to meet 10 million users and I have a mobile application, and my value proposition of my mobile application is to sell clothes. I produce the clothes. I'm selling the clothes on my mobile application and I'm trying to reach 10 million sales. I can create APIs that enable partners to integrate my clothing line into their marketplace, and people are able to buy my products. I've created APIs, extracted those APIs off of my own backend service that enables users to purchase products from me. And what I've done is I'm now exposing that to popular marketplaces, the Amazon marketplaces of this world, the Temus, the Alibabas. I have exposed my services to meet my business goals, which is why I say API as a product. In the next few minutes, I'm going to build a story around how API as a product must always have a product strategy. And within that product strategy, it must have business goals. And the key elements to building that strategy: one, a value proposition. With the use case that I did explain earlier on, right, whereby you want to meet 10 million sales, say, for example, with your mobile app, you're doing 2 million sales in a month. If your Temu total addressable market for the types of clothes that you make is 500,000, you can estimate that you are able to sell at least 250,000. You probably wouldn't have met those customers, or they probably would have met your products on your platform. And when you exponent that value by saying, I put it on Temu, I put it on Alibaba, I put it on Amazon, I put it on XYZ, you have not sold yourself short on your 2 million users. You have exponented your value to say, I'm not only selling on my mobile application, I'm now selling on multiple applications, and it is going to all culminate into my figure of meeting my 10 million sales that I want to meet. So essentially, you build a business plan of as to how you want to build those APIs to extract the instructions from what you want to do here, and you say, I want users to simply buy these products from these different clothing lines under my brand. I want to expose all of that into all of these marketplaces. The business plan is to sell, and there are different ways for you to sell: your channel, your mobile application, and all of these other channels. If you're enjoying what you've learned so far, take a second to like this video, subscribe, and tap that notification bell. That way, you would always catch new videos like this one. Let's keep going. With that justification in mind, let's talk about these elements. Number one, value proposition. You're able to articulate the unique value that your API is bringing to developers and businesses. Let's use another example to explain this. You have payment service businesses across the world. Popular ones like PayPal, Flutterwave. Now we have open banking in the UK and Europe. Tochii is now live. We have open banking in Nigeria, which just received another approval. Let's use payments as an example to drive home our points. With a payment service, I want to collect payments, right? Or, sorry, my value proposition is that I enable businesses collect payments. I can't collect my own payments. What I have to do is open up my services to multiple channels or multiple products, merchants, businesses that they need to collect payments and basically embed my payment method in their process. I know that enables simplified payments for developers and businesses. I'm able to determine the benefits, right? So I'm able to say it's bringing efficiency to their business. It's able to bring new revenue streams for our business. I'm defining my value proposition to my stakeholders. Our company is Tochii Payments. Tochii Payments enables payment collections. Tochii Payments increases efficiency. I have different types of payment methodologies involved. I can collect payments in Nigeria, I can collect payments in the UK, all across Europe because I'm compliant with PSD2 laws, Nigerian CBN laws, FCA, all of that. PCI, DSS law rules, all of that, right? I have this suite of services that enable payment collection from cards, transfers, payment links, open banking, right? Rails. My value proposition is I have this plethora of services. I'm able to open up new revenue streams for the business. I'm able to simplify integrations. I'm able to offer this new value proposition that nobody else is doing in the market today. I need to create a monetization strategy because I've been able to define my value proposition. I need customers for my service. So I'm not going to charge them to integrate to my service. I need them to integrate to my service, which they will do at a cost because they are paying their developers. But I need to onboard them. So I need to find sweet spots to entice them to using it, which is one, my value proposition. But two, I need to also make sure that this is a well-oiled relationship. That's where different common strategies come into play. Number one, there's freemium, offering limited access for free and then charging for advanced features for higher usage tiers, things of that nature. Number two, pay per use, charging based off API call volume. Number three, subscription based, offering a tiered pricing for different levels of access and functionality. Number four is indirect revenue, where APIs drive adoption for core business products. Sometimes you might start with no payments, just trying to gather data and information based off of how users behave. And then later on, you can transform that into a product. You're trying to increase sales through an API integration. You want to align your monetization to your business goals and your value proposition. With Tochii payments, my value proposition is clear. I'm able to collect payments Nigeria, the UK, Europe. It's interoperable. It's a very good value proposition, mind you. However, what's my key business goals? If my key business goals for financial year 2025 is all I need is to have 1 million users of Tochii payments, then I'm tying everything I'm doing to that. So we're not focused on revenue at this point. My business goal is to get 1 million users. I could say for the first 10,000 users or 50,000 users, we don't pay per transaction because I want to entice my users. But when you start to go from 50,000 to 100, then I bill you an insignificant fee. When you go from 100 to 200,000, I still bill you something insignificant because my business goal is to get 1 million users, not the revenue. That's what I mean by you must always tie your monetization to your business goal and your value proposition, knowing that Tochii Payments is interoperable, it has all of these features. What is your business goal? If your business goal is to make revenue, then you need to use, in this use case, like a pay per use. So I'll bill you a 1.5% on every transaction. This is where we talk about margins, right? Margins are super important when it comes to payments types of businesses. So pretty much the concept here with the API strategy is number one, value proposition. Number two, your monetization strategy. Number three, your API lifecycle management. With any product, similar to any customer facing product, APIs have a lifecycle from creation to launch, continuous updates, and eventual retirement. So you need to plan versioning, backward compatibility to ensure smooth transitioning from users when the APIs evolve. So you're basically proactively gathering feedback, adjusting the APIs based off of your user needs, right? The next point is on security and governance. This is super important because you're ensuring that the API is secure from bad actors, but more importantly, you're making sure that you're following industry standards. So authentication, authorization, encryption, data protection. These are various types of methodologies. And but then there also uses policies that you can implement, which are rate limiting, compliance regulations to maintain your integrity. And I give you an example with payments. We have to be compliant in Nigeria because we are collecting payments in Naira, and we have to be compliant in the UK, which is why I did mention earlier on that we need licenses. For example, in the UK, FCA license. For example, in Nigeria, a PSP license from the CBN. If this is helping you think differently about APIs, then show some love by liking, subscribing, and turning on that notification bell so you never miss an episode from Learn with Tochii. Now let's get back to the good stuff. Moving on to the next point, target audience and market needs. It's another key element of your API strategy. Understanding who will use your APIs. Now, whether that might be developers, partners, internal teams, whoever is using your API, you need to understand them. You need to understand their pain points, what they are using your APIs to do, how they are using your APIs. You need to understand what drives them. Once you understand what drives them, you can build a roadmap to improve their experience. So you need to understand the problem your API is solving, how it improves your API user experience, how it enables innovation for them as well. Now, you need to define whether the API serves as a public market for specific partners or internal teams. That's where the concept of public, partner, and private APIs come into place. The next point is on your developer experience. Developers are the primary consumers of APIs. Providing high quality developer experience is super important. One important thing is documentation. Another important thing is tutorials. It is super important that you say, how do I meet these developers? The common concept is the concept of developer communities, whereby you say, with a developer community, I could meet X users, create a community, host live sessions. We talk about these, we create a forum whereby we communicate, I understand the users properly and how they're using my system, and it helps me build on the fly. There's a common concept here called the spaces model. I'm going to speak about the spaces model in further lessons, but really, I just want to make sure that everyone here understands. Next point, business goals for API as a product. Every time you think about API as a product, two things come to mind: the business side, the value proposition side, and the alignment. You have the value proposition, the business goals, and you need to create that alignment. We've just spoken about the strategy, which includes the value proposition, monetization, all of those common concepts. What are those business goals or different types of business goals for API as a product. I'll just describe them quickly. Number one is new revenue streams. Monetizing APIs can result in subscription based revenue, usage fees, or transactional business models. This really unlocks additional revenue by enabling third party developers, businesses, or even partners to access additional services or data. Another business goal here is ecosystem expansion. Ecosystem expansion is unique because this comes when companies want to extend into other regions. I'll give you examples. I've been in companies whereby their target for the next 2 financial years is to penetrate a different market. They create a value add for that region and probably leave that as a freemium for a period of time just to be able to gather data based off of how the market operates. So simply, APIs allow businesses to build ecosystem around their products, and it's simply by enabling integrations, partnerships, where companies can drive network effects and increase platform adoption. And network effects is simply using your data to be able just be pretty much having multiple data sources, training all of that, and create that pattern whereby your business or you are touching every transaction. There are various businesses that touch every transactions that you know of, and it is important to touch a lot of transactions if you want to create network effects. Next point is on innovation enablement. So APIs act as foundation for innovation, whereby businesses can expose data and services to third parties. Developers can create new applications, products, services based off of that feature that the API serves. APIs enable businesses to remain competitive, quickly adapt to new technologies and market demands. Next point is on operational efficiency. You might decide as a business, it's not interesting for me right now to do any one of these three I've just mentioned. And it's just really, I want to increase my operations or make my operations more efficient. And APIs can help here as well. You can reduce duplication of effort and enhance collaboration between different teams. APIs can help streamline your processes, making it easy to manage, reuse, and scale services across different parts of your organization. Last 2 points on business goals. Customer experience improvement. An example is in retail, you may allow real time inventory checking, price comparison, or personalized product recommendations. This is based off of the customer behavior. So you're basically training your data based off of how they've used your data in the past. When you research certain things on Instagram, have you noticed that you start to see those come up as ads? It's that personalization in the customer experience. That might be a business goal, right? You're trying to improve that user experience by enabling seamless integration between different platforms, automating processes, delivering personalization services. Delivering that personalization is one key concept that is really selling in today's market. Finally, data and insights. APIs can collect valuable usage, data and insight as to how customers and partners integrate with businesses. It can tell you how these customers behave, what they like, what they do not like, how they try to grow their business. Once you understand this, you are now able to say, this business goal for me, is it to pull information? Am I trying to get insights? And this data can inform things like your product improvements. It can inform your marketing strategies. It can even inform broader business decisions. For example, you might want to expand into a new region. Using APIs for data and insights would help you build a more informed and refined product based off of knowledgeable insights from these different markets or products. There are clear success factors that define API as a product. And some of them include clear business alignment between your value proposition and your business goal. If it's not clear, then failure is definitely going to happen. Your API product must always align with the broad business strategy and your goals, whether it is driving revenue, expanding the customer base, or enabling innovation. The next point is on developer engagement. You need to ensure that the API is easy to use, well documented, and supported by an active developer community. Next point is on scalability. You want to ensure that the API is built to scale both technically and strategically. Another point is continuous improvement. The APIs would need to evolve. There are regular updates, new features, responsiveness to user feedback that are basically essential for the long term success of your product.
Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss a drop. This is Learn with Tochii, where we inspire, educate, and empower. See you in the next video.